Which club soccer team is the best? I'm the college soccer guy, and I help you play college soccer. Let's get into it. So, which club soccer team is the best one? So, first of all, there's an app that I'm going to pull up here that will tell you basically the club soccer rankings in the United States, and it's very well updated, and I recommend you download the app, and it will just kind of tell you the best club soccer teams by region, by state, per year, by age group, and then you can just look up for yourself exactly which team is the best in your region. Now, most of the time when people ask this question, it means they're starting to try out for club teams, or they're thinking of switching club teams, and finding out what the best one is, it seems like a good idea, which it certainly is, finding out which one the best one is and then trying to go for that one. But if you're already playing club soccer, which is what I'm going to assume, you can also talk to your coaches within the area. They probably know, and you've probably played against some of the teams that are good, and you probably just heard through the grapevine, oh, this team's quite good for their age group. Not that I don't want you to focus on which club team is the best, but what I would like you to do is focus on finding the right place for you. So finding the right club coach, finding the team or the club that's going to outwardly tell you we're going to help you through the college soccer recruiting process, and then unfortunately they probably won't do enough for you, and then that's why I exist, and so you can always call me. But I'll even tell you, and I'll even help you, like, we got to find the right club soccer team for you in the area that you're in. Also, this varies based off of the coach. When I was growing up, I was playing AYSO soccer, then I was offered to play club soccer, and my parents didn't know what that was. My dad's a surfer, my mom's a dancer, they had no idea, and all of a sudden, I fell in love with it. But we had a wonderful first coach. Then I had a freaking 10 miserable coaches that made my life horrible, and I was sad and depressed and etc. But I love soccer so much, I kept going. And then I sat on the bench, and then I remember one time we had a Thanksgiving thing. We would go up north, and we'd spend the time together as a family, a normal vacation. And the coach said, Zev, we need you so badly for this tournament. Please come. And of course, I was like, yeah, of course I want to come, but I'm with my family. I'm stuck. And so I begged my family, can I please go? Can I please go? And then I went and sat on the bench for the whole weekend, didn't play 1 minute. And it was like, even I was like, why would you say you needed me when I didn't even play? And I'm sure some of you have experienced that, and unfortunately, you'll probably experience it again. That is the life of playing competitive travel soccer. When it comes to which one is the best one, we've talked about the different leagues and levels pretty often now. We've got MLS next to the top, ECNL, NAL, and there's another video here where you can look into the exact pyramid that I've gone into in the past. But when you're trying to find that best club soccer team, I want you to go when it becomes tryout season, which is usually towards the May or June of the calendar year. But you can also technically try out at any time of the year. There's no strict rules. All these club teams want your money. Now, trying out for MLS Next teams is very difficult, specifically if it's an MLS Next team with a professional soccer affiliation with a LA Galaxy, LAFC. Those are very difficult. Usually those tryouts are seldom invitations only, and or you have to know a coach that knows somebody that's thus invited you. Now, you can still break into those and try out. One of the ways to do that is through a video that I have over here where it talks about how to find the emails for these teams, because they do a pretty good job hiding it. And when you pull up how to find their email, you can then email them and say, here's my video, here's who I am, I'd love the opportunity to try out. And then you can earn yourself a tryout. You can also go directly to their facility or their office and say, look, I'd like the opportunity to try out. And they'll be honest with you, say, look, you're not the level, and then in which case, great job. And just so you know, from a college recruiting perspective, saying you got to try out with LAFC or LA Galaxy or FC Cincinnati or whatever MLS Next team, even if you don't make it, is super helpful. We had one student, they had moved from Mexico to the United States. They found me just like you're going to call me too one day if you need help. And they called me and they're like, Zev, we really want to play college soccer. And I said to them, great, I'm here to help you do that. What club team are you playing for? And they were playing for basically a no-name called Euro FC. It's a no-name club team in the Midwest. They don't really get exposure. They're playing low level. He was killing it. He was a very good player, probably Division II level player, maybe even Division I, but he has high academics, so he's probably going to focus on Division III schools because he wants to do engineering. And so I said to him, look, you want to play college soccer? You're going to have to play for an MLS Next team to give you the best chances. And the family was from Mexico, so they were like, we don't know what that means. So they lived 2 hours away from Cincinnati. So I said to them, when are they hosting tryouts? We're going. So what we did is we went on the website and we looked for when they were hosting tryouts of any kind, youth level, his age group, older age group, and we found the level below. So he drove 2 hours all the way to FC Cincinnati just to find a human. And I said, look, your only job there is just to find a person and tell them you drove 2 hours, tell them you're from Mexico. He had a really good video that we shared with the coaching staff and said, look, I'd like the opportunity to try out. So The coaches said, you know what? We love your commitment. We appreciate you came out. You can come out for a tryout. He was, of course, super excited. He didn't make it. They said they wanted to keep tabs on him. You don't think we told that to college coaches, saying, I was invited on trial with FC Cincinnati? Was he invited? Yes. Did he make it happen? Yes. Do I want to help you do the same? Yes. And it takes a lot of effort to get to that point. And that is how the club soccer process works. In regards to which club is the best, again, it's going to vary per your region. The app that I've given you is going to help you through that process. But remember, it's about college soccer. So which showcase are you going to? How many minutes might you receive? Are you going to play a lot? And the only way to find this out is to go on tryouts. So my big encouragement here is go to as many tryouts as you can. Try out. Guess what? Try out some more. If you don't make it, you can always go back to your team. Now, trying out can often piss off your club coaches, so you have to be mindful. So the best way to do it is to be honest and say to your coach. We had a student recently, for example. They were playing NPL. I told the family, look, you want to play college soccer, you got to try out for higher level teams. They were a freshman year going into their sophomore. But the student was like, look, if I go try out, I already know my coach is going to be angry at me, my club coach, because he's already told us, like, hey, don't leave, you can't leave us, etc., etc. And I said, look, you got to look out for yourself, just like he's looking out for himself. That's why he doesn't want you to leave. So you go up to him and say, Coach, my goal is to play college soccer. What do you believe I should do? And the coach said, look, you should try out for the best teams, because he was a good person. And he said, Coach, okay, then, may I have permission to do so? And once you have permission, the coach is like, look, you got to do what's best for you. We know there's plenty of kids for us. We're going to find another kid. Maybe I won't win as many games, which will make me sad as a coach. But you know what? I care about your career because you're a human being. And so then not only did he go on tryout, he had a backup. He didn't piss off his coach. He was honest. And so then if he wanted to return, he could. So what ended up happening with him is he actually ended up making an NAL team, which is like an MLS Next second team, and was super excited and said yes. And then another NAL team reached out to him that was closer to his house and said, look, we want you to try out for our MLS Next team. So he asked me, Zev, what do I do? I've already said yes to this one team, but this one's closer to my house and it would help so much with my school. What should I do? So he had two options. He could just secretly go try out to see if he could make the team, or he could ask permission. Now, he was at risk here because right now he has a contract in his hand, right? He made the team. So the easiest answer is stay where you are. You made a good team. Let's play for them for a year, then switch. But he was like, look, Zev, I really want to switch. I prefer the other team. So I said, look, if you're willing to lose your current opportunity, which he was, then ask the coach, may I please have permission to try for this other team? It has nothing to do with you. They just happen to be much closer to my house. The coach's staff was super nice. They're like, of course, go try out for them. If you don't make it, let us know. He went on and tried out for the other team closer to his house, and he ended up making it, and he didn't piss off any coaches, and he was honest about it, and now he's playing at a higher level club team. So now he'll have a much better chance of playing college soccer, and in his case, he's been texting Division III and Division NAI schools since his sophomore year, before June 15th. So he's in a wonderful place in the recruiting process because, again, it takes years. We have another student that just texted me the other day. They had a phone call with UCSB, and then they had a second phone call about 2 weeks later after June 15th. And the student was like, look, we didn't really talk about the recruiting process. Like, I don't really know why we talked. And I explained to him, they're trying to get to know you as a person. Remember, if you go to their school and end up in jail, they get fired. Okay, they need to know that you're a responsible person. Not on top of that, if you graduate with great grades, they get extra points from their compliance officers and from the athletic director. And then on top of that, they want to win soccer games. And they have been doing this long enough to know that just being a good soccer player is not enough. You need to have a good group of human beings. So it takes years, literally years, to develop a relationship where they're going to go, you know what, here's an offer for you your junior year. We've seen you, we know you. I can't wait to have you on a team. So this student, who's a sophomore, since he's talking to UCSB, odds are he'll be getting an offer his junior year, and that's how you end up playing at a top 25 school. If you want more help in this college recruiting process, give me a call. Links in the bio, description, and I'll talk to you soon.